Hi everyone, I'm Jacy from Craft Life, and I'm here today to teach you how to make a large rain balloon basket. After I posted the tutorial for the smaller rain balloon basket, I had many requests to make a large rain balloon basket, so here it is. And the supplies you will need are 2 looms, a lot of rubber bands. Today I'm using white, blue, and peach, your rain balloon hook or crochet hook, and scissors. Some optional supplies you can use are thin wire or a pipe cleaner. So please get your supplies and get ready for step 1. This is step 1. To start, please take your looms apart. I have mine already taken apart, so please do this. Pause the video and press play when you are ready. So, we're going to take our first 2 rows, turn this one so that it's pointing towards you, and turn this one so that it's pointing away from you. Now, on the end, we're going to put a small blue piece. This is on the very end. Push them down. Then you're going to take your 2 blue pieces, push these down. Now grab 2 more rows, turn this one so that the arrow is pointing away from you, and turn this one so that the arrow is pointing towards you. And on this end, you're just going to put a small blue piece. So push them down, and our looms are set up. You can put your other pieces to the side, and we're ready to begin. So, on your end, you're going to make a simple X on these 2 pegs. Push it down, these 2 pegs, and you're going to continue making X's all the way around your loom. And push them down as you go. So now this becomes our bottom row. Make sure all of them are pushed down. And we're going to lay a top row. So starting on these 2 pegs, you're just going to lay a rubber band normally. Then go up. And keep going, but don't push them down. Now we have a bottom row and a top row. And what you want to do is take your bottom rubber bands over the top on all your pegs. Each peg will have 2 rubber bands. So starting on this peg, you're going to take your bottom 2 over the top and push it down as you go. Take your bottom 2 over the top and keep going. If you already know how to do this, you can fast forward this part of the video. We just did 1 row together, and you want to have a total of 32 rows. The X's did not count as a row. They are just a starting point for this basket. So this is what you will do for the rest of your rows. We have a bottom row with 2 rubber bands on each peg, and you're going to lay your top row. So you're going to continue this all the way around your loom in a counterclockwise rotation. So you're going to go all the way around your loom. So now you can see you have a bottom row and a top row. And what you want to do is take your bottom 2 rubber bands over the top on each peg. Then, once you have them all the way over the top on all of your pegs, you're going to push them down, and that becomes your bottom row. So you're going to continue laying top rows, then you're going to bring your bottom loops over the top, push them down, and continue. You will continue this for 31 more rows. I'll be right back. I just finished my 31 more rows, and now I have 32 rows in total, not including my bottom X's because those were just a starting point. And as you can see, I switched color after every 2 rows. And it also made it easier for me to count my rows. If you had any trouble making this, please either rewind the part of the video where I show you how to lay your rubber bands and bring your bottom loops over the top, or you can watch my other basket tutorial, but I only do it on 1 loom. So now we're ready to hook. You're going to start on this peg, grab your bottom loop over the top, and you're going to bring it to the side. I can tell that that was my bottom loop because it hooked the loop behind it. So I'm going to do the same thing on this peg, grab my bottom loop over the top. You can tell that it's a bottom loop because it grabs all my rubber bands in front of it. And you're just going to do that for all of these. And check them as you go because you don't want it to fall apart after all your hard work. Before I started hooking these, I separated my bottom loop from the top loop. And as you are making this, these blue pieces may come off, but all you need to do is push them back down. If you already know how to do this, you can fast forward through this part of the video. And remember to check them as you go. See, as I was hooking, this fell apart, so I'm just going to put them back on. Like that. On your last one, you're just going to stick your hook in those two loops, grab two rubber bands, pull them through, then you're going to pull two loops through the other two loops. Now you can start helping your loops off. But if you did not hook this correctly, it may fall apart. As you are taking them off, your looms may start to fall apart like mine, and that is okay. You can fix them once this is off. Now we're ready to make the bottom. Now we're ready to make the bottom of our basket. Our looms are set up just the way we set them up for our basket. And you're going to count out 21 pegs. And then you can place a cap band just to mark your last peg. So let's begin. We're just going to start making X's normally. Just make these X's all the way down until you get to your cap band. As you can see, the looms are starting to come in a little bit, and that is completely normal. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Now you can take off your cap band and lay your last 2 X's. Now we're going to go from peg to peg all the way down. So we're just making X's from peg to peg like this. And go all the way down with these. And push them down as you go. Now make sure they're all pushed down. And this is our bottom row, and we're going to lay a top row. Starting on this side, you're just going to go all the way around your loom. And do not push these rubber bands down because you don't want them to mix in with your bottom row. And do your best you can to fit them in between the 2 pegs. Now you have a bottom row and a top row, and what you're going to do is take your bottom row over the top. Each end peg will have 2 rubber bands to bring over the top, and the rest of the pegs will have 3 rubber bands. So starting on this peg, we're going to grab these 2 over the top, these 3 over the top, and push them down as you go. So please go all the way around your loom, bringing your bottom loops over the top. If you already know how to do this, you can fast forward this part of the video. Now we have a bottom row, and we want to lay our top row. So make sure they're all pushed down, and we're going to lay our top row. So go all the way around your loom, laying your rubber bands normally. Now we have our bottom row and our top row, and we're going to bring our bottom loops over the top, and on each peg you should have 2 rubber bands. So starting on this peg, bring your bottom loops over the top all the way around. And push them down as you go. We have just done 2 rows together, and you want to have 6 rows in total. So please do 4 more rows of laying your rubber bands in a counterclockwise rotation and bringing your bottom loops over the top in a clockwise rotation. I'll be right back. I just finished my 4 more rows, and now I have 6 rows in total. Now I'm going to hook this all around and take it off the loom. So, starting on this peg, I'm going to grab this loop, bring it to the peg next to it, and I can tell that was the bottom loop because it hooked the loop behind it. Now I'm going to go to this peg, grab my bottom loop, and I can tell that's my bottom loop because it hooked all the loops behind it. So, keep going all the way around your loom and check them as you go to make sure that the loop you're hooking over hooks all the loops behind it. Now, on your last one, you're going to stick your hook through, grab 2 rubber bands, pull these through, and pull 2 loops through the other 2 loops. Now you can start helping your loops off the loom. And if you did not hook these correctly, this may fall apart. Now we're ready to attach this to our basket. This is what it looks like when we first took it off our loom. This is going to be the inside of the basket, and this is going to be the outside. On our basket, we're going to be using the side that we just undid with the slip knot, and we're going to be using our second blue row, or your second color, as our sewing row, and I'm going to be using that row right there. So, you're going to start by sticking in the inside. You're going to grab 2 rubber bands from your sewing row and bring this out and grab 2 rubber bands from your bottom. And we're using our very top rubber band on our bottom. Now pull those together. We're going to skip one on our basket and skip one on our bottom. Then you're going to pull this through. We're going to go to our bottom, skip one on our bottom, skip one on your basket, pull this through. When it gets too small to add one, you're just going to pull loop through. Pull one loop through the other. Now back to your basket, skip one, and skip one on your bottom. So you're going to keep going from bottom to basket and basket to bottom until you get to your first side. Now, once you get to your side, you're going to go on your basket, skip one like the normal, but don't skip one on your basket, on your bottom. Pull your loop through. I'm going to add one. So back on your bottom, we're not going to skip one, but skip one on your basket. So make sure that you haven't skipped one on your bottom twice, and then you can go back to the normal with skipping one on both the basket and the bottom. So skip one now and continue around until you get back to your other side. So now I'm back on my other side, and I'm not going to skip one on my bottom anymore. So don't skip one. Pull this through. Don't skip one, but skip one on your basket. And pull this through. Then continue normally. And then on your last one, you can stop where you started, grab your last loop, then pull this through. And we're going to make another loop to tie this onto. So grab some rubber bands, grab a rubber band, then pull it through. Pull one loop through the other. And you're just going to tie your two loops together to finish this off. Three or four times. Then you can cut them off after you've tied them. Now we're ready to add a handle. Now we're ready to attach a handle to our basket. For your basket handle, you can do any design you'd like, but here are two ideas. You can do a triple single, which means you're doing a single chain and using 3 rubber bands each time. Also, you can make a double dragon scale, which means you're making a dragon scale with using 2 rubber bands each time. And this is also when you can use your optional supplies, your thin wire or your pipe cleaner. Let's begin. As you can see, our basket has a natural roll, and we want to keep that roll. So, we're going to stick our hook in, straight through it, grab 2 rubber bands, pull them through, and pull 2 loops through the other 2 loops, and pull them tight. Now, go to the other side. I'm going to find exactly where I need to stick it. So I'm going to stick mine back in the peach, straight through it. Grab 2 rubber bands, pull them through, pull 2 loops through the other 2 loops. Now we want to attach our handle, so we're going to stick our hook through the same loops that we stuck them through for this. Grab those 2 rubber bands, pull them through. Now we're going to tie these 2 together. You can do this 3 or 4 times, and then you're just going to cut the extras off. Now we have to do the other side. So we're going to do the same thing. Stick it through those loops. Pull your 2 loops through it. And then tie these 2 together. Now cut the extras off. And you're done. This is what it looks like when it's done, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like with something in it. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you make some, I'd love to see them. My Instagram is CraftLifeUSA, so please tag me in a photo. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, pin it on Pinterest, and subscribe right here on YouTube. I hope you're living a craft life just like me. Thanks for watching. Bye!